guys, how's it going? It's Ultimus. If you hear any noise going on in the background of this here video, it's because my window is open right back there behind the webcam. You can't actually see it, but I can, because it is hot as butts in my apartment. I don't know why. So yeah, window's open because I don't feel like running the air conditioner because there's no sense in that, because that costs money and I don't have money. So there's that. Hi, how are you guys? Hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. I don't understand why we're so sporadic and all over the place tonight, but it is what it is, and here we are. Tonight we're going to be talking about the Demon Hunter artifact tree. I was trying to decide which class to do next, and I've kind of expended the classes that I actually play, so at this point everything else is going to be kind of just overviews and conjecture my thoughts of what I can best put together. But as far as my overall experience with the classes go, obviously we're going to be kind of hitting a wall on that one, so I figured why the heck not, let's just do Demon Hunters. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into those. Only the highest quality content here on the channel, as always. So let's go ahead and jump right in. As always, please do take in mind that this is all alpha build, so basically all of this will change eventually in one way or another. I feel like we say that every video, but we have to say that every video because reasons. Alright. Let's jump right in. Fury of the Illidari. Send your Warglaive spinning rapidly around your location for the next 3 seconds, dealing 100% of weapon damage to any enemy it comes in contact with. Okay, so it's basically like the Whirlwind for Demon Hunters, except my eyes really itch. Why do my eyes really itch? This is always when I'm recording. Except, you know, this isn't exactly Whirlwind because it lasts a little bit longer, so that's kind of cool. But it's going to do full on like 100% of your weapon damage, so that's kind of intense. So, moving on from that, let's go up to Balance Blades. Throw glaive can bounce to 2 additional targets. That's kind of cool. So, basically turns your like glaive toss into essentially a chain lightning, more or less. Limited range, of course, because chain lightning can bounce around all over the place. But so that's kind of cool. So we got that. Deceiver's Fury. Dodging an attack or spell generates 10 Fury. That's kind of cool, and that will stack. Okay, up to 15 Fury. So, pretty dope. So, whenever you dodge an attack or spell. Can you dodge spells right now? Is that a thing you can do? Could, like, a mage cast a Frostbolt at me and me dodge it? I don't recall that being a thing. Interesting. Maybe I'm crazy and I've just never noticed it. Or I just don't play enough agility classes for it to matter to me. That's possible. Feast on the Souls. Consuming a soul... Wait, where'd you go, mouse? Consuming a soul fragment reduces all cooldowns by 10 seconds. Oh, that's kind of crazy. I believe soul... Yeah, soul fragments are those things that drop on the ground when you kill targets, I believe. So, that's kind of crazy. So, basically, with this artifact, you're going to be able to... When you pick up those souls to regen health, you're also going to reduce cooldowns by 10 seconds. So, that's kind of crazy. I mean, I can't imagine that would stack. Yeah, so just a one out of one talent there for sure. Chaos Vision. I-beam damage is increased by 10%. Up to 15. Alright, cool. Works for me. Overwhelming Power. When Chaos Nova stuns a target, there is a 10% chance that a soul fragment is generated. Oh, dang. So that'll have a chance to spawn soul fragments even without killing blows, just whenever you use Chaos Nova. That's what that chance is going to be. Up to 30% as of right now, fully stacked out there. And then we're looking at Inner Demons. When you Chaos Strike a target, you have a chance to unleash your Inner Demon, causing an image of your demon form to crash down on your target, dealing damage to all enemies within X amount of yards. Oh, that's interesting. So, because, I mean, I haven't noticed any talents or spells or anything that would necessarily increase the duration of demon form. Your Metamorphosis, more or less, which, I mean, obviously... Because in one end, I was wondering if we were going to see like a permanent demon form ability, kind of like we see in Heroes of the Storm. But that just seems like it would be way OP, so I guess this is kind of the next logical step, I suppose, without extending the duration too long. Just make it spawn a mirror of it, more or less. So that's kind of interesting. I'll be curious to see how that plays out. Can you do damage to it? Can you kill it? Can you CC it? Or is it just going to be this thing? I mean, it would have to. I feel like it would just have to be, but then again, though, who knows? So I guess I can't say it would have to. So I would hope that it would be something that can be CC'd or damaged or something along those lines, because that, depending on what the damage is like, that could get kind of crazy really quickly. But cool concept, especially as a demon hunter. Critical Chaos. Critical strike or chaos strike critical damage increased by 6%, all the way up to 10%. Sharpen glaives, throw glaive damage increased by 6%, all the way up to 10. I mean, I feel like throw glaive is actually going to be a fairly core ability for demon hunters. I wasn't expecting it. I mean, we've already got a couple abilities in here that are like talking about throw glaive as an ability, so I think throw glaive is going to be a little bit more important to the rotation than I was initially thinking. I guess I was just defaultly considering it and regarding it like heroic throw. Like heroic throw isn't exactly a core ability for warriors. Like we use it every once in a while to pull stuff, or if someone like blinks away, you can get like that last 1000 HP on that mage. I thought he was clever and could blink away. It's happened a couple times. It's kind of fun. But I mean, for demon hunters, it looks like glaive toss is actually going to be a relatively core mechanic, more or less. I mean, we'll have to wait and see, but just with the fact that there's so many talents here, even in the artifact tree revolving around it, makes me think that Blizzard really wants us to use glaive toss. So that'll be interesting. Unleash Demons reduces the cooldown of Metamorphosis by 0 seconds. That's completely riveting. Can't wait to use that talent. But in all seriousness, I mean, however long that's going to actually play out, we'll see. I'm curious what it is right now on Alpha, since I don't actually have access to Alpha. I'm still crying sadly about that. I'm literally checking my email like every day, at least 20 times, and I'm checking my Battle.net like launcher too, just to see, because I'm like, I want in. I need in. I need it. I want it. I need it. Because, I mean, if that happens, I can pretty much kiss my, like, live account goodbye, because I don't think I'll ever log into it again until Legion goes live. But anyways. Demon Speed. Fell Rush has no cooldown while Blur is active. Interesting. That actually sounds terrifying. So, seriously, like, Demon Hunters are going to have some gnarly mobility. I mean, understatement of the year, I know, but they might actually be able to rival Monks. And I think Blizzard has said that they're making Demon Hunters the most mobile class in the game, so that's actually kind of scary sounding, more or less, because monks already are pretty mobile, so I can't imagine anything being more mobile than a monk, but apparently demon hunters are going to be it, so that should be crazy, especially with like the new arenas they got coming out. The 2 new arenas I think look really cool. There's going to be some interesting matches. I think I could see potentially already them being really annoying, but it's kind of nice that up front we have new arena matches or maps announced already. But anyways, that's another video for another time. Of course, I'm saying all this too because I'm really curious how demon hunters are going to play out in PvP. I've said it before, and I'll probably continue to say it. I really hope they work out really well with Death Knights, because I really just want Hero Cleave to be a thing. Like, I really want just Death Knight, Demon Hunter to be a thing. And I can just see it now, calling it Hero Cleave, and I just want it to be. I don't even care if I have to play my Death Knight or the Demon Hunter, depending on which one I'm better at, but I want that to be a thing. I want that to be a disgustingly overpowered, wonderful thing. Demon Rage. Demon's Bite damage increased by 6% up to 10% there. I wonder if these are bugged and they're supposed to go up to 13%, or if they were actually stopping at 10% and just that second talent's bugged. Interesting. Anguish of the Deceiver. Mouse, behave. Each time I-Beam deals damage to the target, you cause anguish on the target. When anguish expires, it deals damage based on how many times it's stacked up. Oh, interesting. So basically, I'm curious how long the window you have for anguish is. Because each time I-Beam deals damage to a target, you cause anguish on the target. When anguish expires, it deals damage based on how many times it's stacked up. So, and since I-Beam is an AoE, is that going to stack like on all targets? Or is it just your initial target? Curious. Because that sounds like it get kind of crazy. If you can just get like the most out of your I-Beam or whatever, and then just like dot people down and watch them rot as you're like flying away and getting away. That'll be interesting. Contained Fury, maximum Fury increased by 20 up to 30. Kind of cool. All right. Illidari Knowledge, magic damage taken reduced by 8%. 8% up to 12%. See, that's a weird percent. I feel like these percentages are off. I mean, again, this is data mine stuff and all pre-alpha, so it doesn't surprise me at all, but it's just, it keeps throwing me off. I think it's bothering the little bit of OCD that I have that wants like all the numbers to be the same. Rage of the Illidari. When Fury of the Illidari ends, 100% of the damage dealt will erupt in an explosion of fell energy, splitting the damage between all enemies within 8 yards. Wow. So basically, like, I believe Fury of the Illidari is your big... So, okay, this is your big cast down here. That's interesting. So this could potentially set up some gnarly AoE burst. I mean, between that... I mean, depending on what the cooldowns of everything look like, you can time that with your I-beams, stack a ton of damage in there, pop the Fury of the Illidari, or I guess you could even pop that first, blast them with the I-beam, and just wait for both of these to tick and just dot. I mean, are Demon Hunters going to be a dot hit? I don't imagine they're going to be dot heavy. I mean, because this is just a couple abilities, but I mean, looks like they're going to have some damage over time effects that are going to pop up as your attacks go through. But that's interesting. I really want to get my hands on a Demon Hunter just to see what they feel like. Just for some of the footage I've watched by tuning into a couple different streams and like watching some old YouTube videos on them that people have posted post-stream. They look interesting. They look so cool. They really do. Not just because they're new. I mean, there's that fact too, but like all the attack animations are cool in the concept, and they look like they're really, really well thought out, and they look really polished already. So I just want to get my hands on it and see what it plays like. So if anybody at Blizzard happens to stumble upon this tiny little video that like 12 people are going to watch, and they want to take pity on my poor desperate soul, I would love a beta and alpha key, friends and family. I'll send you cute pictures of a puppy. That's currency, right? Puppy pictures for a beta access. Yeah, so keeping in mind that Demon Hunters only have the DPS and tank spec, and currently there's no artifact info for the tank spec anyways, it should be very interesting to see how Demon Hunters work. I'm curious comparing them to Death Knights, because if you guys don't remember, in Wrath of the Lich King, when Death Knights dropped, they were the most insanely overpowered class that WoW had ever seen. People used to complain about shamans being OP in vanilla. They complained about, XYZ, but they didn't know what overpowered was until the Death Knight showed up, right? I mean, insert the everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked joke in here, seriously, because Death Knights were just gnarly, insanely overpowered. And so comparing all that and considering that, and anytime you introduce anything new into the game anyways, it's completely changing the meta. That on top of all the class changes that are coming up and spec changes, I really want to see, and I know I'm not the only one here, how Demon Hunters are going to fit into this puzzle and what the balancing and tweaking is going to be like. I'm optimistic simply because of having the PvP talents separate from PvE now. And Blizzard basically saying that in Legion they're going to be able to tune and adjust stats pretty much on the fly, so it doesn't sound like we're going to have to wait for patch days anymore, which should be very, very nice. I'm hoping that's the case, so we'll just have to wait and see. And I know we talked a little bit about PvP as a whole rather than just Demon Hunters, but I feel like talking about that really plays in because, it's a new class, and this is going to change PvP one way or the other. We'll see, whether or not Demon Hunters are top tier. We'll see. I mean, undoubtedly there's going to be Gladiator, Demon Hunters for sure. There's just no way there's not going to be. But how they fare and how they hold up and change the status quo, that's yet to be seen. And I'm sure the same can be said for the raiding scene, which I have little to no experience in. But it is a very big part of the game. And I guess I'll throw this out here, I'm actually going to start looking for, and I got a couple people in mind initially right now actually that I want to hit up. And I want to see if I can talk to them about raiding in World of Warcraft, since I do pretty much strictly PvP. And I want to sit down and talk to them about specifically Warriors, but probably PvE as a whole, but how they think Warrior changes are going to affect PvE and things like that. Maybe get some collabs going. I got a couple collab ideas that I'm cooking in the back of my brain here. They're percolating. Just got to try to find time to sit down and coordinate it all. But anyways, yeah, that's going to do it for this video. I am excited about Demon Hunters. I know I'm not the only one. A lot of us have been hoping for Demon Hunters since the Burning Crusade, for crying out loud. So they're finally here, and they're looking more gorgeous than I think I could have ever imagined. So I'm looking forward to getting my dirty gamer hands all over my mouse and keyboard and just seeing what we can do with them. I definitely have a desire to potentially treat Demon Hunter as a serious ult. I mean, not just roll one for the fun of it, but actually like replace one of my ults with a Demon Hunter. I think that's why I'm having a hard time deciding on ults for the next expansion, simply because of A, all the class changes, and B, because there is a new class entirely. So we'll have to wait and see. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit it with a like, a comment, all that good stuff. Give it a share. It helps a lot, and if anything, it just means a lot to me, so I greatly appreciate it. Thank you, as always, for watching. You can contact me on all my social media pages down below. I've got the links down there, Twitter, my Facebook, all that good stuff there. please feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you guys and just get to know you guys a little better, talk with you. And yeah, I think that's it. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.